An alternate day, everyone! Nice! Ang positive. Well, of course, it's the start of a brand new year, 2020! Well, year 2020, as we all know, is bringing a lot of changes in Philippine pageantry. As we all know, Miss Universe Philippines franchise has just moved to a new franchise owner. The Miss Universe Philippines Council has been formally introduced last month, December last year to be exact, and all the pageant fans can't wait as to the changes, the massive changes that this will bring to the new pageant. So I'm here to dish out my thoughts and insights about the new franchise as to ano ba dapat ba anong klaseng girl ang dapat nating koronahan sa susunod na mga buwan. And here to help me out in giving our insights for today's episode, she's none other than my friend, the box office queen of Philippine pageantry, Tita Lavinia of Tita's Pageantry!
Siyempre, well-dressed pa ako. Hey guys! Hey Adam!
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year to you! Happy New Year to you guys!
Happy New Year to all our viewers watching right now. So Tita Lavinia, let's cut to the chase. Miss Universe Philippines has moved to a new pageant owner. Wala na sa Binibining Pilipinas ang Miss Universe Philippines franchise. So, ano sa tingin mo? As we all know, the new Miss Universe Philippines pageant is in full swing right now. It's about to happen in a few days' time. So, eto na guys, pageant season na uli sa Pilipinas. So, ano ba sa tingin nyo ang dapat na hanapin ng mga new pageant franchise owners and council members sa susunod na magiging pambato natin sa Miss Universe?
Push na natin yan. Kung ako tinatanong mo, ako talaga tinatanong mo. Well, I'm part old school, I'm part new generation.
Yes.
So kung ako tatanungin mo, of course hindi pa rin dapat nawawala yung ganda factor. A lot of people are saying we should send someone really good in communication skills. Maraming upset na hindi sila masyadong nagagandahan sa set of winners this year. And it's very controversial because you cannot really say hindi mo bet ang beauty nila because all of the major winners this year are black girls. So hindi mo rin talaga pwede sabihin, ay hindi ko bet yan because they're black girls. So parang meron din nagpo-pull back ng mga tao in saying their own opinion. But what I'm just saying is that kung hindi natin bet yung beauty standards nila, it doesn't mean hindi sila maganda sa ibang beauty standards.
Yes, did you hear that, guys? So, ako talaga personally, medyo ayoko na magpasindak talaga sa kagandahan lang. When I'm going to see these girls filing their application forms next week or in the next few days, hindi na talaga ako magpapasindak sa ganda alone. Like, gusto ko bigyan nila ako ng sample ng resume nila. What have they been up to for the past few years leading up to the application screening and to the screening process? Because as we all know, it has been, for me, this has been the biggest lesson I've learned from watching last year's Miss Universe. Wherein, hindi na lang basta advocacy, hindi lang basta ganda and advocacy yung hinahanap nila eh. The advocacy has to be really skin deep sa girl.
Sobrang authentic dapat.
Sobrang authentic. Alam mo yun, kasi mahalata naman natin if the girl just made up a certain advocacy just for the sake of joining a pageant. The girl has to be really more than that. Kailangan even sa pagtulog niya, she's still breathing. she stands nowadays, what she represents nowadays. And I really feel like, you know, entering a beauty pageant nowadays feels like applying for a job interview, applying for a job in the corporate world.
Because it really is a job interview. You know, we keep on saying they got lucky with Catriona because Catriona is beautiful, she's tall, she can go high fashion, she can go mingle with the farmers, can go with the regular people. But with Catriona kasi balance eh.
Yes.
Kaya mo yung glam, kaya mo rin naman yung sobrang kaya magsalita. So what I'm just saying is, kung ikaw hindi ka nagpapasindak sa ganda lang, ako naman hindi magpapasindak sa resume lang. For the Philippines, I feel na hindi natin kailangan itapon yung alam natin na doon tayo magaling. always send well-rounded girls. So
Yes.
let's bring Gazini in the picture.
Uh-huh.
Because maybe some of your followers or your viewers will say, but what about Gazini? Gazini is just ganda lang. But that's not necessarily the point. Kasi kung ganda lang si Gazini, hindi sana na-train si Gazini ng ganyang level. Gazini may not be as deep as the other contestants that we're used to or the other representatives that we're used to. But it doesn't mean na wala siyang laman. Kasi otherwise, hindi siya makakatungtong dun sa stage niya yun. And if she buckled twice or thrice, it doesn't matter kasi naitawid niya yung kanyang speech.
Yes.
So, with the Philippine team, we have to make sure na balance sila because in the Philippine setting, it's an entertainment show. Hindi mo pwedeng i-pattern yan na parang maghahanap tayo ng candidates natin na parang Miss USA na talagang verbal gymnastics, over verbal gymnastics.
Yeah.
Kailangan natin ng merong entertainment value.
Yeah, kasi Philippine setting pa rin.
Philippine setting pa rin.
Yeah, alam naman natin what takes, what is really
Beauty pa rin
taking
tayo.
in. Yeah.
So, if we can find
balance,
a good balance of both, like let's say someone na makuda, and what I say by makuda is not what is your interpretation of a good communicator?
Someone who really talks well.
Talks well, but when you say talks well, because in the Philippine setting, we're really very
She really talks with substance. Alam mo yun, hindi lang siya, she can really expound in circles what she is representing. Alam mo yun, hindi lang siya yung parang, okay, just because she has an accent, okay na, alam mo yun, the girl has to really talk. Or parang give me, yun na nga, I'm sorry to say, oral gymnastics. Yun talaga yung ano eh.
Oral gymnastics.
Makikita mo naman, mararamdaman mo naman if the girl sounds genuine eh, when it comes to that eh. Alam mo, it's one thing to say all these highfalutin words versus, coming out with simple English words, pero tuloy-tuloy, na talagang you will really feel that she's very authentic. She knows what she's talking, she knows what she's representing, and she's very unapologetic about it. That's what for me is a good communications speaker, na talagang someone who's really pag nagsalita, boom, boom, pow, parang si Catriona. Alam mo yun?
So actually, mahirap kasi maghanap ng Catriona right now. It's just that when people or when Filipinos say that they want someone good in communication, the automatic thing that people think about is good in grammar, in syntax, and pronunciation. That's not necessarily the case. Meron tayong mga provincial girls na hindi mo talaga sinasabing matatalino, but actually, ang meaty ng sinasabi nila, hindi lang nila ma-articulate sa siya. Kasi hindi naman sila sanay sa setting na sobrang galing sa iyo.
Ako kasi talaga, kung sino man yung magiging winner for this year, I really hope nandun na talaga sa kanya yung communication skills. Na hindi mo na siya kailangan pang i-undergo in a very intensive training for that. Kailangan nandun na talaga para pag nanalo na siya, as I've said before, tweaking na lang and polishing. Kasi among many other things, hindi lang naman yung Q&A ang ifo-focus mo sa training, nandiyan pa yung pasarela mo, nandiyan pa yung mga pasabog videos mo, wardrobe, styling, makeup, alam mo yun. So ang dami rin talaga. Q&A is just one aspect of the competition that they need to prepare. So I hope that whoever gets crowned, eventually, nandun na yun. Kumbaga, nandun na sa the girl really has it. Parang, kung problemahin na lang yun, yung mga ano na lang, aesthetic part, yung makeup, styling, pasarela.
So I guess ito na yung way ng Philippine team to really recalibrate. Kasi before, it was more of a holistic training. There's a specific training for pasarela, personality development, of course, Q&A. So siguro, I guess ngayon medyo mag-shift na sila. They're going to try and look for girls na medyo well-rounded na konting polish pa lang.
So,
intensive polish.
So, tingin mo may girl na gano'n, na talagang maganda, tapos parang she's been doing charity work, or she's been doing...
Meron akong alam
Meron na?
May alam ako, pero hindi ko na sasabihin sa'yo, pero may alam ako na nagtatrabaho.
Kasi parang feeling ko yung iba kasi syempre gusto sumali. Tapos syempre, kailangan mag-advocate, kailangan advocacy ako kasi it's a huge requirement nowadays in pageantry. So parang mag-iisip sila, ano kaya yung something, what is a cause that is close to my heart. So parang ngayon, kailangan parang pag nag-screening sila, pupusisiin ko talaga yung advocacy nila. Parang yung mga interviews ko more on that. So parang makikita ko if they're really genuine about it, or if they're very passionate about it or not. So yun ang kasi natutunan ko when I watched Miss Universe last year. I mean, come on. Alam mo, when it was down to the three of them, South Africa, Puerto Rico, Mexico. Initially, although South Africa was shining, shimmering, splendid in her evening gown, I really thought the crown would go to Mexico because si Puerto Rico naramdaman ko ng first time because I was seeing Ariana Gutierrez vibes in her. Parang okay, itong first runner-up ka na. So it was down between, for me, between South Africa and Mexico. But since Mexico, I think, was more superior in terms of facial beauty, so parang I kind of leaned on Mexico kasi she was also, she was very articulate din, medyo yun nga very articulate to the point na medyo redundant yung mga sinasabi niya, pero I thought kasi well balanced communication skills ganda. So I thought Mexico would get it, but since nagulat din ako when Africa won, parang sabi ko, whoa. Not that, I'm belittling South Africa's facial beauty, but it's just that nasanay lang talaga ako na over the past few years, di ba, huwag na rin tayo lumayo. Noong 2016, when we hosted the pageant, it was down between Haiti and France. I really thought Haiti would also get it because she delivered a flawless and more superior answer than France. But lo and behold, Iris Mittenaire of France won. So sabi ko, bakit si France? Tapos nga pala kasi nga beauty, mas maganda nga si Iris. So ito naman 2019, parang, parang, nanarito ako, parang, kung susundin ko talaga yung how Miss Universe has been thinking in crowning its winners, it should go to either Puerto Rico or Mexico. So, pero hindi, South Africa. So sabi ko, does it really have to do with the venue being owned by an African American actor? Pero that's another story together. So anyway, nakukonfuse tuloy ako, and not with a new franchise owner taking over the Miss Universe Philippines franchise. So parang sabi ko, ano na ba? Parang should we really put more emphasis on interviews from now on? Di ba din ang kasehoda ng hindi ganun ka-facially superior si girl. Kaya naiisip ko tuloy nung kinurunahan si South Africa, parang shit, sino ba yung pwede natin ipantapat kay South Africa just in case na lumaban next year? So naisip ko talaga, to be honest, si Julia Sobier. Parang sabi ko, oh Julia, parang, yeah, Julia can talk in circles, can really expound all her advocacies and causes, even with her eyes closed, na talagang parang feeling ko pwede sila mag-showdown ni South Africa in terms of oral gymnastics on stage. So ngayon, I don't know if Julia hasn't been replying to me online, so parang hindi ko alam kung sasali siya. So parang sabi ko, parang magkaroon na rin kaya ako ng Julia, kasi parang feeling ko Julia's getting the last laugh right now So parang ako ngayon, parang hanap na lang ba tayo ng Julia ngayon? Ganun, huwag na tayo magpapasindak sa talagang arresting beauty, gorgeous face. So yeah, what do you guys think? So you think balanse pa rin talaga?
Oo, kailangan ng balanse kasi syempre it has to appeal to the Filipino fans. You cannot alienate the Filipino fans because they're the ones who's gonna really work hard to vote for you, to help you get your position out there, and they want a show. They want, those weekly photo shoots. And what I'm just saying is that kung hindi okay sa inyo yung beauty standards ng mga binabatong mga girls na kudadera, magaling ang styling team ng Pilipinas. May transformative magic ang styling team ng Pilipinas. So, kung sakaling pipili sila ng kandidata, because we have had candidates in the past, guys, na talagang they were not known to be facially superior, pero ang gagaling umuda. Hindi rin nag-work sa atin yun because, some of these girls, they get very defensive when it comes to their beauty na nagiging defense mechanism yung galing nilang magsalita. Ayaw din naman natin yun. Ayaw naman din natin ng mga sobrang gagaling na girls na every time nakikita natin sila sa social media, it's more, but even if I'm not like this pretty, I'm like this with the head, we cannot have anyone like that.
Yeah.
Humility will still play a big role kahit na alam mong sobrang summa cum laude kung anong parte ka na. Hindi, as much as possible, let the other people talk about your intelligence.
Yes,
hindi mo kailangan
hindi mo kailangan ibenta. Don't show it to our faces that you are summa cum laude, that you have a mighty meaty resume.
Hindi rin pwede yung
nakaka-turn off yun, guys. Hayaan nyo ma-discover namin kayo.
At hayaan nyo yung admins yung mag-build up sa inyo. Because the admins, kung yung ginagawa natin,
Yeah.
we do our research. Hindi lang kami basta, well, of course, kung babayaran kami sa PayPal, wala namang problema.
Or I actually had experience that.
Ay, ako rin. So, kung may mag-offer dyan. But what I'm just saying is that, tayo kasi, kahit na sabihin mo may iba na nanalbahe sa atin, we also do our research. Naghahalungkat din tayo. Siguro bago malaman ng ibang mga tao through the comments kung sino itong mga girls na yun, ang responsibility nasa atin to really highlight these girls. So it's really up to us na, or it's really up to the girls na makuha yung attention natin without being so blatant na ito yung achievements.
Yes. Yeah, ako I second that. Kailangan talaga, hayaan mo kami ang makaano talaga sa'yo. Ma-fall in love, iba yung organic the way, we fall in love with you the natural, the organic way instead of you parang promoting yourself, asking us talaga to promote you one day after the other for your many pasabog videos or advocacies. Let it parang be more parang seamless about it, be more organic about it. Just do your thing, and if you have been doing so far so good, we'll pick it up. We'll take it from there. Yeah.
And you know what, Adam? Another thing, because even up to now, a lot of people still hasn't moved on from Gazini, and that's not because of her facial beauty. It's because of her ganda ng ugali.
Yeah.
So you cannot really go wrong kapag ganda ng ugali ang pinag-uusapan. Yung hindi uma-attitude, magalang. Si Gazini actually hindi siya nag-stay sa social media. Some people thought that was a bad thing because there were so many photos of her na ang ganda-ganda hindi niya pinopost. But with Gazini, I think she tried to be more careful kasi the more that you're babad sa social media, you get it sucked into like little things na dapat hindi ka na nag-reply, na namalaki na lang ang gusto. So, maganda rin yung ginawa ni Gazini kahit na hinahanap-hanap mo siya. The other admins were posting photos of Gazini. She didn't really have to do anything. So, for me, more than being makuda, kailangan relatable ka sa tao. Yun ang naging edge ni South Africa this year Granted, hindi siya yung sobrang classic na beauty na maisip mo because when I think of a black winner, I immediately think of black Barbies like si
Vanessa Williams,
si
Colombia
Albany,
2002, Albany Darego, Nigeria, Miss World 2001.
Taylor Lopes. Yun yung mga parang black Barbies So for us na medyo malihis, Zosibini is actually a very elegant African woman. Hindi lang rumihistro masyado yung mukha siguro
because of the hairstyle.
Because of the hairstyle, but maybe had she been more versatile with her looks, baka mas ma-appreciate natin yung look niya. So,
pero she said in an interview that the reason why she really chose to sport her natural hair was because to represent her natural state.
That's what's been working right now. Kaya nga hindi na ganun. Muntik na makuha ni Puerto Rico, but Puerto Rico is still seen as a pageantry girl. Kahit lumaban naman si Puerto Rico to like really get out of the pageant party.
But it's just that South Africa looked more refreshing and out of the box.
And tsaka in tune with the times. I mean, huwag na tayo magpaligoy-ligoy pa. It could be a business decision. It could be like a decision to really support the causes of women these days, support the causes of minorities these days. I get it. Ang hindi ko lang talaga magets is how in your face it was. I mean, there's a reason kung bakit may maliit tayo na community in pageantry. This is not for everyone. So if you're gonna try to be politically correct with pageantry all the time, kamusta naman yung mga backdecks, diba? Kamusta yung mga babaeng backdecks? Yun lang naman yun. Bigyan niyo naman kami ng sparkling glitters.
I agree with you on that. Okay, so now that we've established the type of girls that the new franchise owners need to crown eventually, do you think, my next question is, do you think the new Miss Universe Philippines franchise should follow the format of the Miss Universe pageant in its maiden finals on May 17. Tentative pa lang yun guys, no official confirmation yet.
Well, we talked about this earlier. It would be ideal if they did. It would be ideal. But when I think about the Philippines, I always think that we're usually like maybe a few steps ahead. When it comes to like looking for a girl, lalo na ngayon na meron tayong pinangahawakan na powerhouse status.
Yes.
We have to not follow the norm, but we have to like go above and beyond this. So, I'm just hoping na kung merong freedom ang MUP when it comes to production,
Tweaking the production format.
and they have like the best creative minds at their disposal, might as well go for like something else if you want to really highlight the communication skills of these girls.
Without necessarily following the format of its mother pageant, Miss Universe.
Parang try to find ways na talaga mas squeeze in mo lalo yung galing nila sa communication skills na binabalance mo with the glitz.
Yung Miss South Africa, diba? Alam ko hindi naman nila pina-follow yung format exactly ng Miss Universe.
Hindi. Ito sa dancing show.
Pero ang hirap ng mga tanong ng tinatanong nila sa finals. For this year, they were asked about something about abuse. Parang how can you... Siguro probably, hindi naman nila kailangan i-follow yung format ng Miss Universe pageant. Pero siguro when they give out those final questions, it really has to be super hirap. Na talagang mind-blowing, na talagang nerve-wracking na out of the box. Para just so we can squeeze the brains out of these contenders for the Miss Universe Philippines title, di ba?
Pero alam mo, sa binibining Pilipinas setup, hindi rin naman ganun kadadali ang questions if you come to think of it.
Yeah, oo.
So, yung level ng difficulty naman talaga, siguro kung paano lang nila ihain. Of course, with binibining Pilipinas, we have been very, very supportive for years. But at the same time, every year may reklamo tayo on how the production is, on how the camera panning works, on how yung arrangement with Q&A. So siguro, linisin lang talaga nila yun. And if they want to really focus on comm skills and interview skills, find segments.
I think it really all boils down to budget feeling pa talaga.
For budget, edi maglaban-laban sila. Because
talagang sana ibigay na nila. Kasi naman yung magiging official TV station ng Miss Universe Philippines. Sana talaga...
Gloss on gloss.
Talaga.
So naghiwalay na rin sila.
Probably because of budget constraints.
Well, ngayon, now is the time to really be out on budget. Kasi both of these parties or these organizations, they have something to prove. Binibining Pilipinas will really latch on to the funnies, the local funnies out there. So, if for years medyo nag-neglect nila yung production because they have ways of doing things, yung
now they really have to do it na.
Yes, they really have to listen to the fans.
Now that meron na silang rival for, a rival for these things.
And Adam, I also want to mention this, although this is not official, but wait, sort of, not quite, mahala na kayo tumimpla. But ito ang tingin ko social media will really play such a huge part in the search for the new Miss Universe Philippines. Because they will be very hands-on and they will be very heavy on social media engagement.
So guys, kung sino man yung mag-a-apply for the next few days, I hope you guys will choose to focus on the girls' positive, aspects instead of tearing each girl down at the expense of your favorite. So, kunyari si girl sumali, tapos mahina ang comm skills. Girls, guys, huwag yun na masyadong i-highlight yun. Kasi guys, na-highlight, magnify yun ng mga, not only us, but even our neighboring countries. And all the more, napipick up yan yung mother organization, which is Miss Universe. And nagkakaroon tuloy sila ng idea. Ako na ngayon ko na na-realize. Ngayon nagkaka-idea sila na, ganito pa, parang tinimbang ulit kulang si girl sa aspetong ito. So parang kung totoo man na may mga favorites na sila prior to the pageant duration, so tayo gawin na natin yung part natin in really, protecting our girls, make sure na talagang be aggressive in campaigning them in a positive way, such that by highlighting all their positive aspects, kung ano yung pinaglalaban nila. Make sure if you have criticism, siguro ipadaan nyo na lang sa handlers ng face by face instead of dissing them and shutting them down online. So yun ang pakiusap ko kasi nga social media is now a crucial part of how pageantry is working nowadays. Alam nyo guys, nagbabasa yung mga orgs, hindi lang Miss Universe, Binibining Pilipinas, how much more than yung franchise. Nakikinig sila nakikita nila yung mga sinusulat nyo, yung mga nire-replyan nyo sa yung mga hanash ninyo. So be very careful on that because that might really play a big part on evaluating your favorite manok's chances in that crucial moment of time, deliberation. Pero sa MUP, wala na sigurong deliberation kasi isang ano na lang. Isang title na lang paglalabanan nila. So whoever emerges as the highest scoring girl during that night will automatically win, right?
Yes. And
so,
when it comes naman din to social media engagements, if you notice the Miss Universe organization, they did a lot of like pocket videos this year.
Yes, yes.
So, feeling ko ang ginigauge nila sino yung effective sa social media. So, you girls who are interested in joining MUP this year, you have to really curate your social media feed. You also have to really work hard on finding ways paano kayo magkakaroon ng engagements. Maybe you can interact with your fans, interact with your charity people, I don't know, introduce your city, introduce your town. You really use social media to your advantage kasi I think that's gonna play a huge role this year.
Yeah, harness it to your advantage because nowadays a lot of the fans are really into it.
So the
more material, the more content or material that you put out there on social media, the more it will be beneficial to your candidacy later on. Kasi kaming mga pageant admins like Tita, Factor, may marami kaming materials na pwedeng i-repost about you guys and talk about you eventually. So, yeah. So, dapat na kayo, be proactive about it, be more hands-on about it, huwag nyo lang i-delegate sa mga team nyo. Kung gusto nyo talagang manalo, kung talagang you're really if you're really hungry to win, i-hands-on nyo na, trabahuhin nyo na. Huwag nyo nang i-asa sa mga fan admins nyo, gawin nyo na. Kasi makikita talaga namin if you're really in it to win it.
So talagang organization and mobilization of team. Unfortunately, hindi na pwede ngayon na, ay, maganda ako, sasali na lang ako.
Oo, nagising ka na lang ng isang araw. Ay, nga, sali ako ng Bilibili, isang ganda-ganda ko ngayong
araw. Pala yung mga sinasabi, parang paano yan? Paano kung pinanganak ako manikurista, tapos matangkad sa ganda ko, hindi na pala pwede yung gano'n.
Yeah.
Manikurista talaga yung gusto ko. So, kailangan talaga, you have to sit down. If you're an aspiring candidate, you have to sit down, you have to list down your plans. Now, we cannot help but add Catriona in the equation because whatever it is that Catriona did, this is the effect. You may
We're
see it
right now.
Diba? You may see it as a advantage or maybe as a disadvantage kasi now the
she'll forever be compared. Whoever's gonna win will really eventually be compared to Catriona.
So marami talaga will really pay in comparison kasi talaga she was so extra.
Halang dapat ang bituka in absorbing all these criticism, whether constructive or downright nasty.
At mas impressive si girl if she can harness everything that was really strong with Catriona's preparation and then make it her own.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Kasi like for
her
example, si Gazzini, obviously hindi niya kaya talaga yung katulad na nangyari kay Kat, katulad na nangyari kay Tia.
Yeah.
But iba yung atake ni Gazzini going to Miss Universe.
She played to her own strengths.
Oo, yung talaga kay Gazzini, wait lang, maganda yung face ko. Might as well just go there. Pakita ko yung face ko na ganito at yung magalang na persona ko na pagka-Pilipino. Kasi paano kung makikipaglabanan? Guys, they were only there for 10 days. Ano ba naman nagchichikahin mo sa seatmate mo? Alam mo magchikahan tayo ng tungkol sa mga political situations para lang ma-feel ng lahat na wait lang ang talino ni Philippines. Hindi mo pwede yun, diba? So, kung baga kung meron feeling mo may mga kulang din sa'yo na hindi ka at par, bala-balanse lang talaga yan. So, hindi ka naman pababayaan ang training team ng Pilipinas. Yun lang naman. At forever makikisaw-saw ang mga Philippine fans.
Yes. So, Tita Lavinia, to wrap it up, so, anong dapat na ang girl, what should a girl possess in order for her to win Miss Universe Philippines? First, ganda. Ganda, guys. Non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable pa rin.
First and foremost, it's still a beauty pageant. Number 2, comm skills.
But like what we have been discussing, comm skills na hindi lang basta magaling sa grammar, sa syntax, sa pronunciation. Kailangan natin ng tao na pwede natin ilagay sa diplomatic arena. Kailangan ng tao na parang may amor, para may heart.
Spokesperson, diplomat. How we view or see an ambassador act when he's a diplomat or an ambassador in the public arena, that's how our winner should act like. Statesman, diplomat.
May leadership skills.
Yeah, and thirdly, leadership skills. Kailangan she's very proactive with her causes. Siya na magpupusa in what she wants. Hindi siya passive na parang she'll just wait for all these things to come. Nandun sa kanya yung pusa to really, yung drive to push, to really hustle it out in order for her to win. You know, that's one thing that Catriona has when she was competing for Miss Universe Philippines. Can we share it now?
Yeah, I think so.
2 months before, 2 months before Miss Universe pageant in Bangkok, Thailand, she really requested Binibining Pilipinas for her not to be given any more public appearances so that she could focus more on her training for the pageant. If the girl could have that, could really master that courage to speak out her mind for the sake of how her training will turn out for the pageant. So be it.
Kailangan someone decisive, yung hindi lang basta. Well, ayaw natin ng may attitude. Of course, we want someone who will listen to the elders, either the organization people o kaya naman yung mga tao sa camp niya, because syempre lahat ng mga taong to, they're there for her welfare, sa ikapapanalo niya. And Adam, may just also add, right now what we're trying to do is we're looking for the right girl. Hindi na tayo pwede masyadong manghigil na kailangan manalo yun. We have to understand that whatever it is that we're doing right now, we're setting the stage for culminating the next batches of girls na magiging eventual winners natin. So, just to set your expectations, we may or may not win next year. Katulad na nangyari sa atin for 2019, but we shouldn't feel really bad about it kasi like what we've been saying, we have to be a few steps ahead. If we have to be a couple of steps behind by 2020 in terms of just being very chill and really doing things na maging plakado ang training natin given the new pageant order, so kailangan medyo mas chill din tayo in pushing our girls and really supporting our girls.
In short, manage our expectations pa rin. Temper our expectations. So yun. So, and you know, dapat social media savvy.
Yeah, social media savvy.
Yeah, so ganda, com skills, leadership, the most important, be the game changer. That girl has to be a game changer in her own right. And number 4, social media savvy. You know how social media works nowadays in these candidacies of these girls. So
hindi lang siya basta photos, guys. They have to, when we say savvy, it's not just using all of the functions of social media. They have to be able to produce contents out there na not just full gloss and glam. It has to be socially relevant.
Yes, kailangan balance. May glitz and glam, pero at the same time, merong nag-cater sa advocacy at dun sa holistic well-being nila as a candidate leading up to the pageant. Alright guys, so did you learn so much from us in listening in today's episode? Well, if you have comments and suggestions about this episode, feel free to share your comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel, Hey Adam G, and Tita's self-eponymous YouTube channel as well, Tita Lavinia of Tita's Pageantry.
New channel, and of course, Instagram, please make tambay on Tita's Pageantry. Nakahanap na po siya, naka-shadow ban lang kami, hindi ko alam kung bakit, but it still exists. So Let's Hustle is going to be a very busy year next year. We will be covering several pageants kasi nag-stand alone.
Pagod na tayong mga pageant admins. 4 stand-alone national pageants na, oh my God.
Pero ginusto natin to, so yun lang naman yun.
Change is coming, indeed. Alright guys, ingat kayo.
Alright, thank you guys. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Tita Lavinia. Ingat. See you guys. See you around until my next video. Bye.
Bye.